When you say Auburn Tigers, you're probably tempted to think about the gridiron, right?
No doubt about it.
Just so happens that their baseball program, or program, as they say down there, they qualified for the College World Series in baseball last year for the first time since Tim Hudson played there in the late 90s. And the link,
and he was a shortstop,
is that Tim Hudson is back as the pitching coach at his alma mater, about a week on the job, and it's great to have him on the program today. Hud, hey, man, good morning and congratulations on the new job.
Hey, good morning, fellas, man. I appreciate that, and it's exciting to put on a Auburn baseball uniform again.
Hey, Tim, did I get that right? Didn't you play shortstop in college?
No, I actually played center field.
You're thinking of Woody Williams.
I played shortstop in high school, but everybody played shortstop in high school.
I was actually thinking of Trevor Hoffman.
Hey, so tell us about the challenges here. I mean, season getting going pretty soon, and I know that the previous pitching coach left for a head coaching position, so you have not had a whole lot of time to get to know the kids.
Yeah, I've been here about a week on the job, and about 6 or 7 days ago, I found myself at home looking at the roster on the internet, trying to match names with faces, just so that I'd have some kind of idea what the kids, the next day at practice. But, this week's been really awesome. I've worked with them in the pens a couple of times. We've thrown some live batting practices, and, Coach Smith, he's done a great job leaving me with a lot of talent here with this pitching staff, and I'm excited to get to know them more, get to know them better, understand what their strengths and weaknesses are, and just try to help them win a national championship here for Auburn and get ready for the next level.
All right, so Tim, take us back. Like even 2 weeks ago, you're sitting at home. Yeah. All of a sudden, this happens. How'd you get there? Do you live there? Take us back a little bit.
Yeah, well, I've been living in Auburn now for about 10 years, so this is, it's right in my backyard. I've been a big part of the program, coming around and hanging out, and I was actually started back to school last semester and trying to finish my degree, and I talked to Butch about maybe doing an internship here this spring, and the timing was to the point to where I decided to do an internship, and then Coach Smith took a head coaching job at Tennessee Tech, and Coach Thompson was gracious enough to offer me the position. And after I sat with my wife and the family and talked to them about it, and it just seemed like things were just falling in place, and it just seems like it was a place where I was supposed to be. And I'm really excited about working with these boys. It's I don't have a lot of experience being a pitching coach, but I do have a lot of experience around that mound, and I feel like I can help them out in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, he was gracious enough, Matt, to go, I got a 17-year Major League All-Star pitcher in my backyard. What do you think?
Yeah.
Maybe I can make him the pitching coach?
Yeah, it's interesting, though, Tim, when you think about, your career, you pitched for such a long time, and you accomplished so much in the big leagues, and you're back on the buses hitting the Waffle Houses again, man. How's that adjustment going to be for you?
Well, it's going to be interesting. I love the Waffle House, man. I hit the Waffle House about 2 or 3 times a week around here. It's kind of a staple. That's kind of a staple in my retirement diet. But you know what? It's going to be a lot of fun. My experience here at Auburn was unbelievable. It was a couple of amazing years. Went to the College World Series, and something to build from an awesome season last year. And they went to the College World Series and had a lot of success. And I think these boys are hungry, and I'm just. I'm very happy to be a part of what Coach Thompson has going on here. He's building a great program, and I just hope to be able to help as much as I can.
So, Tim, I got so many interesting college baseball questions because it's a different game than the pros. One, you're calling the pitches from the dugout. And then,
that's right.
So I want to ask you about that and also your philosophy with working with these guys. What will that be? What will your philosophy be as a pitching coach?
Well, obviously when it comes to calling the pitches, catcher with Scheffler this year, and I feel pretty good about him understanding the pitchers and understanding what their strengths are. And I'm gonna go and look at video of teams. Obviously, I'm new to the league, so I'm gonna need to get to know all the teams and all the hitters and understand ways to attack them and get them out, and have our guys try to set them up in the best way to be successful. And as far as my pitching philosophy, I just want to hammer these guys. We have to dominate the first 3 pitches of every at-bat, win the 0-0 counts, win the 1-1 counts. And if you can do that, you're going to have a chance to have a pretty good outing and go out there and be successful. Too many pitchers nowadays, they, especially young guys, we want to dance around the strike zone and try to make everybody swing and miss a lot. And that's great. But at the same time, you want to go out there and try to be aggressive and take command of the game and take command of the mound and let the hitter know that you're better than him. You're going to go out there and you're the best man on the field at that given day, and it's going to be a tough road for those guys in the dugout.
If you were to get together like a celebrity guest list of former staff mates that you could perhaps tap into to come and talk to your guys, to talk to your players, and you pitched with so many good ones. I mean, guys that were older than you when you were a young bull growing up in Oakland, like Tom Candiotti or Kenny Rogers, maybe Zito. I mean, you could have a good party in the suite for the boys with Peavy and Bum, right? You get the country boys together. Who would those guys be? Who would you ask to come talk to your kids?
Some of those guys I probably wouldn't want them within a mile of my guys, and not because of the pitching, but you know what? It's I've been fortunate to have some awesome teammates along the way. When I was younger, like you said, Kenny Rogers was a guy who when I first came up, kind of took me under his wing for a little bit, and Jason Isringhausen was a guy that I had an instant connection with when I was a rookie. Then you have my peers, Zito and Mulder. I mean, it's hard to think about one of us without thinking about the other two. And when I got to Atlanta, John Smoltz, one of the best ever. I mean, that guy is a Hall of Famer and one of the best right-handed pitchers and best competitors I've ever been around. So there's some good ones. Bumgarner is an absolute stud. He's one of my best friends in the game, and I enjoyed those 2 years with him. And then, like you said, Peave, man, Peave is an Alabama boy. He's down in Mobile. Maybe I can have him come up and hang out with us for a little bit and show the boys around a little bit. So,
he'll bring a guitar. He'll get a suite.
Yeah, he'll hook it up. Hey, I want to ask you though, what pitching coach influenced you the most? Who did you learn from?
Well, like I say, I've had a chance to work with some really good ones. Early in my career, when I didn't quite understand my delivery and understand the biomechanics of how to do things right or wrong. Rick Peterson was a guy who really helped me tap into to understanding, where things needed to be, thinking on time. He was a guy that really influenced my career early as far as mechanics goes. And, when I got he was a guy, we were a very similar pitcher. He was a sinker baller. He was a little bit of an old school guy, and he helped me a lot with the mental side of it, and going out there and being ready and understanding what it takes mentally and physically to go out there and post up every 5 days. And so those two guys really made an impact. I had 1 year with Leo Mazzoni in Atlanta. I didn't have a chance to work with him a lot, but that was a good first year with him. Kurt Young was, after Rick Peterson left Oakland, Kurt Young came in and done a good job with me for 1 year. But Rick and Roger, those were two guys who made huge impacts in my career as a pitcher.
Well, we would love
knowledge is unbelievable.
Yeah, we would love to tap into you down the road on this, because I know you're just kind of getting your hands on the whole thing. But we talk so much, Tim, about how the way the game is taught has changed, especially from a hitting standpoint, with all the technology and data that's out there. And after you've had a chance to observe and get your work in, we'd love to call you back again later on this winter and see how it's all going.
I'd love to, man. I'd love to catch up with y'all when we're in Omaha.
And that too. We know you're passionate about this, so thanks for taking some time. Let's go old school with Tim Hudson.
Look at that guy.
Believe it.
Look at those sideburns. Huh?
Prospect look.
How are we looking?
We're looking good. We're looking ready to dominate.
That's right.
For 17 years in the Grande Ligas.
Oh, man.
Hey, thanks for the time, Tim. Good luck down there. We're rooting for you, and we can't wait to talk to you again down the road.
Thank you. Hey, anytime.
Congrats, buddy.